Hi, Mandie.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well. I'm so happy that you're here.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my gosh, thanks for being here. You have quite the busy schedule. We had met each other and then we didn't really either of us talk about what we do. And then I discovered that you have this incredible organization. So let's start there and then work backwards in terms of how it came to be. You founded Worthy of Love. And what is Worthy of Love?
Worthy of Love is an organization that throws incredible birthday parties for families experiencing homelessness.
Is it in Los Angeles exclusively?
So we have four shelters that we take the party to in LA County, but we also have another place in Houston, Texas that we've been throwing parties there for 2 years, almost three, and then in LA, almost 12 years.
So tell me, like start to finish, what do one of these parties look like?
Oh my goodness. The most fun ever, ever. I get so excited every time we're about to have a party. And even my friends and family that are coming, they're like, we can't wait for the night. And it's always so much excitement. You'll never know what you'll find at a Worthy of Love birthday party. We have an incredible DJ that brings his dance squad from South Central. They are clown dancers. They keep the party hype. We have a photo booth. We have face paint, balloon artists. We've had a sloth. We've had a camel. We've had alpacas. We've had dinosaurs. We've had a robot at our last party. I mean, you'll never know what you'll find, but it's so exciting and so much fun. And the kids always, always have a blast. And the adults too, I have to say, we all do.
So all these people who come, you have the photo booth and the DJ, do they come to every party and do they donate their time? How did you find them?
Well, I mean, in the beginning, it was people would donate their time. And I remember our DJ, I was like, I am paying you. Like you are getting paid for this
Mm.
because he was like running out of gas coming there, but wanted to be there. A lot of people have donated their time, volunteers, absolutely. But vendors, I mean, this is a business, it's a nonprofit, but it's a business. And so we have incredible vendors who don't charge their full price, but they give us an incredible experience and the best of the best in Los Angeles and in Houston, where I mean, we have the ultimate birthday party. I remember a celebrity coming to the party and said, I want this for my birthday. I'm like, right? It's so much
Yes.
fun.
And so how often, because they're not, obviously you can't do every person's birthday. So how often do you do them?
Oh, no, no. We do everybody's birthday because when you come to Worthy of Love, you get a name tag and your birthday. You write your name and your birthday on it. And we celebrate everybody's birthday because all you had to do is be born to be worthy of love. And so it's more than just a party. That message, it's repeated over and over again at the party. Like turn to your left, turn to your right, and say, you are worthy of love. Now let's celebrate everyone that's born in September. Come up, birthday babies, let's celebrate your birthday. And we go on the mic, we'll say your name, your birthday, how old you're turning. And then we say, okay, now we're here to celebrate September birthdays, but we're also here to celebrate your birthday. So the count of three, I want to hear your birthday. One, two, three. And everyone says their
Shouts their
birthday.
birthday.
And we say it over and over and over again. And a lot of kids never even knew their birthday, which was very shocking.
How did you figure
Uh,
that out?
Well, in the beginning, when we were doing the parties, we would just bring gifts for the kids that were born that month. And everyone was invited because we do the parties at the shelter. So everyone's invited. There's a family member at the shelter. But as far as like the gifts, we would pick them out. We'd go to Target and spend hours like, what would an 8-year-old boy want? And then kids would come up to me crying and saying, I never had a birthday party and my birthday was 2 months ago. And I said, okay, we have to give gifts to every kid and we had to celebrate everybody's birthday. And so we've been doing that for, yeah, maybe 11 years of everybody gets a birthday.
How did you partner with these shelters that you work with?
So my husband and I, when we met in Skid Row in Los Angeles, and it broke our heart to see children in Skid Row because they don't
Can you
have a
tell
place
us
for a
what
child.
what were you doing in Skid Row? Like clarify how you were just like hanging out there.
Okay, well, that's gonna like go way back.
Yeah, that's okay.
So my whole life I've just had a heart for the homeless. My mom would like run a soup kitchen, and we, were constantly helping the poor. And that was something that was ingrained inside of me. Like, we have to help those that are in need. And so that was something really important to me. And even in college, I would travel around, go around the world, to different cities. And instead of like meeting people my age at a bar, or, at a club or whatever, I was outside talking to the homeless people while my friends were inside having fun.
Hmm.
They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you have to hear his story. It's just incredible and like impactful." And so I went on semester at sea, and I traveled the world on a ship, and we went to country. And on the ship, I got to travel with the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, an incredible person. And he taught me to treat everyone you meet as a brother or a sister, and every child like they're your own. And that stuck with me. And it just, yeah, I saw the world for the first time as my family. And when I was done with semester at sea, I said, I want to make an impact. And I knew on the ship I wanted to help the homeless because that was my passion. And so I moved to the homeless capital of the nation, and that's Los Angeles. I
Hmm.
mean, unfortunately, but I came here, and the first time I went to Skid Row, I met some incredible people who were artists and had this photography club and this theater club. And I was like, sign me up, I'm in. And so in the theater club group I was in, my husband Ari joined that group. And so we met in Skid Row, volunteering with a theater group. And I didn't come to LA to be an actress, so, but I'm very theatrical and I love theater, which is great, but that wasn't my aspiration. It was to help the homeless. So meeting Ari in that group, we worked with adults that had been incarcerated, had been homeless, and they wrote a play called State of Incarceration, and we performed that play, and the audience would sit on 100 bunk beds that we had in the theater, and we would be in prison for an hour. And the stories that they wrote and everything that they went through, it was just wow. But I knew there was a lot of criminal activity in Skid Row, and then seeing kids in that environment, whoa. And the trauma it brings being incarcerated, and parenting, and just so many struggles, so much suffering, but also recovering. I mean, there's Skid Row is the most recovering area in the United States, and there's so many options and help and assistance, which is incredible. But a child, they don't really have a choice. And so to see them in that environment crushed us. And Ari and I always wanted to be parents. That's something we spoke about. And um, yeah, so when him and I were setting on our parenting journey, finding we're pregnant, we were so excited. And yeah, we volunteered at Skid Row, but that wasn't our main focus or our jobs. It was something we did on the side. And becoming a parent, that was everything. And so we couldn't wait. We're already thinking, oh, it's going to go to Harvard, Yale, whatever, like planning their future. And then everything went crashing down, and we had a miscarriage. And when that happened, I remembered what Desmond Tutu has said about every child is your own, treat every child like they're your own. And I said, well, I'll be a mother to these kids that I keep seeing in Skid Row. Like, I have to do something for them. And we couldn't throw a birthday party for our child, which we really wanted to. Um, and so we did it for these kids that we kept seeing. And I found where they were staying in Skid Row. They were living at the Union Rescue Mission. And there was about 15 of them. And I went and visited the shelter, and it broke my heart to see them in those conditions. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do birthday parties. And I asked the shelter if I could do it, and they were like, okay, sure. They're like, we have or a birthday cake donated from a local bakery once a month, and we sing happy birthday together. That's all we do. I'm like, oh, well, we're going to bring the party. And so we did. In January 2013, we did the first party in Skid Row, and those are our kids. And Ari and I just held on to them and loved them. And we, out of our pocket, paid for the gifts. I mean, they were from the dollar store, but still, like,
Doesn't matter.
I my life savings, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot to me at the time. My life savings I took and I bought a mascot suit
Oh my God. What
because
was your animal?
that's what you do, right? It was
Sure.
it was a cat, Skitty Cat, and for Skid Row, and I was the mascot at University of Alabama, the elephant, Roll Tide. And when I was the elephant, I just knew how happy it made other people. Like it just did. Like walk in the room as myself. Nobody would look at me. Come back as Big Al, the mascot, and I was celebrity, and everyone was like laughing and cheering and having some. I said, we got to do that for the kids in Skid Row. They need something to hug and like be happy. And so I came out as Skitty Cat, and the kids were scared of me because I was like fourth quarter mascot, like let's pump it up, and
Mhm.
they were in drama, and it was like I had to learn, like, well, I can't. That's not for them. Like
Mhm.
so my husband started becoming Skitty Cat, and he was just like gentle and slow. And the kids held him and would not let go. And he told me, I'm finally able to cry inside the suit and mourn our loss. And that to me, it shocked me. I was like, wait, I had the miscarriage, not him. And
Mm.
I was like, wait, he had the miscarriage too. And he wasn't able to process it like me because I was the one that was sad and I was the one that it happened to.
How
But
did
then
you
it shocked
process
me.
it? How did you process it in the time?
I was a mess, like super sad, and it was hard. And just like, am I ever going to be a mom? And that's when my focus became the kids in Skid Row. It was like, okay, these are my kids, and this is what I can do. This is how I can be a mom. They wanted me to hold them, they wanted me to love them. And so we thought, oh, we're going to bring so much joy to these kids, but no, 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 no. They brought it to us and healed us. And it was mutual. Like we wanted to love them and they loved us. And it was just love and it was powerful and it just kept growing. And it didn't stop and it's just gotten bigger and bigger. And I remember my second miscarriage, we had just gotten back from Israel, happily married and having just like the best time ever and wanted to have kids so desperately, but I didn't want to try for a long time because it hurt and I didn't want it to happen again. And so the second miscarriage, I was on the rooftop of the shelter throwing the biggest, most amazing pirate party. And I started bleeding on the rooftop and I knew it was gone. And it
Mm.
just hurt so bad to have that second miscarriage. And I was so angry at the nurse when she was like, third time's a charm. I'm like, I don't
Oh
want to,
God.
I don't want to think about the third time right now. Like, let me just get through the second time. And um, it was hard. It was really hard to process. But I had the love of the children and I was holding, a child when this was happening on the rooftop and just hit me like, oh my gosh, well, maybe these are just my kids,
Mm.
and it's fine. Like I can get through it. And they held on to me and I held on to them and I made it through because of them. Um, so third time was actually a charm, thank God.
Thank
And
God.
I had Ziva and her name means radiance. And she was born during the solar eclipse.
Mm.
And it was like this moment of just like, oh, and we said, you were so radiant that Hashem had to block the sun for you to come out. And um, yeah, she's brought so much joy and radiance to our lives. And we were able to have Zeta a couple years later. And well, Hashem, like I'm just so happy, like so thankful for everything I've asked for and just prayed for and was in the mikvah, like crying out to God, like, why? God, I will do anything for these kids that are poor and, need love. I'll do anything for them, but please give me my own children. I know I've always wanted to be a mom, but I was a mom, and I am. I'm a mom to two beautiful babies, but I'm also a mom to over 40,000 kids, which is crazy to say, but they've impacted me in more ways than they even know and have given me hope when it's been the hardest, darkest road. And my own children now giving back and volunteering and loving it as much as I do and wanting to help and wanting to give and understanding that. It's been the brightest, biggest blessing. So I'm so grateful for my family and my husband.
Mm. So many questions here. Do you keep in touch? Are you able to keep in touch with some of the kids? So if you started in 2013, do you ever get to see or talk to or get updates for some of those first round of kids you had a party for?
All the time. One of them volunteers with us all the time.
Mm.
So a few families from the beginning still volunteer with us, but one kid in particular, his mom had written to me and said that he still sleeps with a teddy bear we gave him.
Mm.
And he's like 21.
I'm sure he's like, don't tell anybody.
Right, of course. But that meant so much to me. Because we never like given, during Christmas and the holidays, like people want to donate toys, and that's great. And bless you for doing that. But in a shelter, it's kind of hard to have any kind of toy. You know what I mean? And so we found giving them stuffed animals and teddy bears that say worthy of love on them. Um, was really just powerful because they could snuggle with it, they could hold it, and they could keep it. And if we want to go all the way back to where this all began, I was 5 years old. It was my birthday, and I had started a new school in a different city, and I knew nobody. And I was very alone. And my teacher came up to me and said, I have you a birthday gift. It's your birthday. And I was like, whoa, wow. And I felt so seen. And I opened this gift, and it was a plaque. And it said my name on it, and it said Mandie with an IE, so I knew she was really paying attention. This was for me, and then underneath it said worthy of love. And she said, "This is what your name means."
Mm.
And it blew me away, like, whoa, I didn't even know what my name meant. And it was so special to me because I felt so worthy, I felt so seen, I felt so loved, and it gave me hope, like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Someone sees me.
Mm.
At my lowest, at my darkest, even at 5 years old. Like this was so hard. And she was there for me. And so when I started Worthy of Love, it's like, that's what the name's going to be. And we're going to do t-shirts every month as a gift that say Worthy of Love. So they'll remember this. And I have my plaque sitting in my living room right now that I've kept all these years. And so that's what I hope all these families that I've seen in the past, and they've given so much hope to me. I hope that they have something that says Worthy of Love on it, and then all those good, precious, incredible memories will come flooding back.
Mm. What, how did it become this small idea into, I mean, this is your full-time nonprofit now, right? So how did it grow and at what pace over the years?
Oh man, it's sad actually because we went from 15 kids to now like 1,800 in a month.
Mm.
Because homelessness, especially family homelessness, became an epidemic during this. And so I think one year we grew 125%, and it's never been easy to do a budget because it's like, what is the state of homelessness going to look like next year? And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And the gym that I used to volunteer at before we started Worthy of Love was this huge gymnasium with basketball court and incredible. We could, do after school there. And now it has 150 bunk beds, and there's hundreds of family members living on top of each other that are homeless in this gymnasium. And it's so depressing. They had to peel me out of there when I first saw it because I couldn't believe it. I mean, just sitting there crying because I see a balloon from our birthday party on one of the bunk beds, thinking, that precious baby, like coming up, face paint, we're having so much fun, it's joyful, and I get to go home and they have to stay here with hundreds of other people around them. How do you sleep? What if your baby's sick? And what if they're coughing through the night and they're waking other people up around you, like the stress and the trauma and the, oh my goodness.
Mm.
So it's depressing that we've grown. It's depressing. I wish it was the opposite where we said there's no more kids in the shelters. We're done. But because of that, because of the growth, I knew I had to do something. And so I went and got my MBA in nonprofit management, graduated in 2020. And I did that at American Jewish University. And so that program really helped me to understand how to grow, what to do. And we went from one shelter in 2020 to five.
Mm.
And so, yeah, without that program, I really wouldn't have known what I'm doing. It's just like, we're having a good time. This is great.
Mm.
But then it became, you know,
Fundraising, did it sort of systematize fundraising?
absolutely. We couldn't do it without our donors, 1000%. But I learned more about relationships, and the relationships we've had with people over the years have been phenomenal relationships where they're able to help us in ways that we never expected we would get here with these numbers, like ever, ever. So if it was still just 15 kids, I think we would get by. But because of the amount, it's critical we have fundraising and those relationships with donors that love our mission. Our biggest supporter is Maya Bialik. We honestly could not do it without her. And
Mm.
I'm sit here and cry right now about this woman. Like, she is just beyond, she's the real deal. And she loves the kids like they were her own, 1000%. And um, yeah, I just, knowing what to do, like, helped me to become full time and to really, pour everything into it. But in 2020, when I got my MBA and it finally felt like I know what I'm doing, my sister died 2 weeks later.
Oh,
And
Mandie, I'm so sorry.
thank you. That crushed me to the core. She's my best friend. She's my
Mm.
maid of honor. She was everything. And so she was my nurse. It's been hard doing life without her. And so, during the pandemic, I was very alone. But we still had Worthy of Love. And we did a tribute to her 1 month after she died. And it's like, not all heroes wear capes. And she was a nurse and she was a hero. And she gave her whole life to helping others. And I'm saying apple that falls from that tree is just will give anything to help others. And she taught me so much about that. And I started making challah during the pandemic because that's what you do. You make your bread, and it was terrible. It was disgusting. We would throw it out. I was like, oh my goodness. And my husband was like, honey, you'll probably just never make store-bought challah. They might have like secrets or something that they do. I was like, oh, I will make store-bought challah. I will. And
You don't tell
so,
me that I'm not gonna make store-bought challah.
right. And so I was like, game on. And I made it every single week. And it was my therapy. I would cry in the challah. I would pound, I'd beat it up like, just mourning my sister. And slowly but surely it got better and better and better to where like foodies would come over and be like, you need to sell this. I'm like, ooh, seal of approval. But that didn't feel like right to me, like selling it. I'm like, okay, I really would rather teach it. I want to teach it. And so I asked the shelters that we worked with, can I come in and teach the moms how to make bread? And they were like, sure, why not? Yes. And so I started going into the shelters and we started baking bread together, and it was healing for them. And we've done that for the last 2 years. And the women have just really touched me. I'm emotional because it happened last week at the Peterson Museum, and they let us use their kitchen to bake bread, and it's incredible. And we invite like 12 women from Skid Row. They come to the Peterson, which is such a different environment from where they're picked up. They're dropped off to this incredible museum. It's gorgeous. It's like really expensive cars. You just feel like wealth when you walk through the door. And then we take them up to the penthouse, and it's this beautiful area overlooking the city. It's just gorgeous view. And then there is this industrial kitchen, and we go in and we make challah together and roll it out. We braid it. We get to know each other. We talk about our favorite foods. We talk about our traditions and food. And we make this nourishing bread together. And then they go into the penthouse. We have makeup artists where they do their makeup. They give them these products. They love it. They feel so beautiful. We have this gorgeous lunch prepared. They eat, and we get to try the challah, and then they get to tour the museum. They're treated like queens and VIP, and then they leave with just more confidence, more hope. And one woman told me last week, she just said, I came in here with so much stress, and it was so heavy, everything we're going through. And I desperately want a home. I want a home to have a Christmas tree for my kids and to be together in our own place, in our own kitchen. She said, but when I touched the dough and we started rolling the dough, everything just melted away. And I felt that on so many levels because before my sister died, the miscarriages and the trauma of that was hard to keep going. But grief is like a magnet, it just pulls everything up. And it's just all these feelings, all these emotions. But to do something together in a bond like that, I hadn't had with the moms before. And so the bond that we share of trauma and hardship and struggle, that, and then doing something like baking nourishing bread that they got to bring back to the shelter for their kids and to be able to give them something just all together. It's just so beautiful and magical. And then, we had the Worthy of Love party that night after baking bread. And I'm just so proud of what we've done as an organization. It's just been beautiful moments of love. And that's the only intent, is love. And it's so powerful and it's so beautiful. And everything else just melts away.
It's incredible. I didn't realize you were doing that. Is that also under the umbrella of Worthy of Love?
Yes. So Worthy of Love Bakery is in the works. I have two women that are transitioning out of homelessness. And there are bakers, and they've done baking before becoming homeless. And so giving them an opportunity and getting them fully hired. We're looking for grants, we're looking for funding. And then eCar, we've partnered with eCar, and when they have their own space, hopefully soon, they're going to let us run the bakery cafe. And the women that we know will be able to hire them and give them opportunity to get out of homelessness once and for all.
And just for context, Ikar is our mutually shared synagogue, spiritual community, temple, various names for it. But really what it is, I mean, community resonates the most. But if you tell somebody outside of Ikar that it's a community, it sounds like you're maybe in a little bit of a cult and nobody understands it. And maybe we are, and I'm okay with it. But it is our Jewish spiritual home, where that's how we originally sort of connected through somebody else there. So I just want to give that context. But we actually met because someone there runs a moon circle, like a women's healing moon circle, which my listeners know I'm into all the woo-woo stuff. So obviously we met there. And I just, obviously, like, yes, all heroes wear capes. You wouldn't walk into a room and know the depth of the heart that you give. But just from knowing you within the first like 10 minutes of that moon circle, I just felt so much giving from you and love from you. It also radiates from you. And it's just, you're so meant for this work. And they are so lucky to have you. I mean, because you do
Mm.
it so meaningfully and with joy. I mean, I see it light you up and it's incredible. And I think about those losses that you had. I mean, changed the lives of 40,000 kids. Not to say that it wouldn't have without the losses. Like, sure, I would have rather you not have to go through that. But what an impact. My God.
Yeah, if I didn't go through it, then we would have never done it. We would have focused on our child. Of course, that's our whole world. And yeah, you never know what you're going to go through in life and then how it could help someone else. And just like that teacher who gave me the plaque, like she taught me what my name meant. And it's my name. It's in my name. That's
Mm.
why it lights me up. That's my name. That's who I am. And to be able to give back, yeah, I couldn't survive without being able to do that. And then my husband's like-minded. We help others, and that's what we teach our daughters. We help others.
And I know your daughters come with you to the birthday parties. What's that like? And how did you explain this to them? Do they know the piece about the losses?
Yes, they do. They
Mm.
do. They understand that that has happened and that is why. And they've heard my story many times, like watching me, you know, on the video or something, So they understand why. But I think my daughters, like, it was really fun for them, like, "Woo, this is great." And then I think, Ziva, when she was at a party, it's probably in the last year, and she went to my husband and was crying and was like, "Daddy, I didn't get a sticker. I really wanted those stickers. They were so cool." And he said, honey, think about it." And she was like, "Okay, yeah, I know what you're gonna say, Dad. I can get any stickers I want. I know. These kids can't, and it's okay. It's okay." And it hit her like, okay, you can have anything you want, and your needs are met. And then looking around, like seeing the children, um, it's been tough. I mean, that's why we wear the same shirts. Like, yes, it's their birthday present, but we wear the same shirts so no one looks homeless
Yeah.
and everyone looks the same.
Unifying.
But if you look at their shoes, and I just keep thinking about this little kid's shoes at the last party that had holes all in them. I mean, they have been through some stuff, and he's only 9 years old. Or seeing a child cry when it's their birthday song because they never had a party and this is special to them and they're so happy. I've heard so many thank yous from moms that are just heartfelt and deep. Like, I couldn't do this for my child. Or saying, "You made me learn how to love myself again." In Houston, we have moms that are incarcerated. And so think about that. Like, you're incarcerated, you have a child, you don't feel worthy. You don't.
Yeah.
And so we're there to remind them, no, 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 wait, you are. And there's hope and hold on and you are loved. And it's not just for the children, it's for the parents too. And, to fill them more with confidence, like, hey, we're in this village with you. We're not going to leave you. And in Los Angeles, these are our neighbors and we can't neglect them. We can't not see it. And it's just so hidden. No one knows about these children, these families that are suffering and in pain, and it's hard and they have nothing. So I think being able to volunteer with so many different kind, beautiful angels in Los Angeles has been wonderful. And in Houston too, like, be able to give back to those that feel so unseen and to see them. And I think when I was miscarrying both children, it just felt like I was so alone and I
Mm.
was unseen. You just feel so alone in that moment. And it's hard to talk about. But seeing my husband and seeing him suffer and him, being able to heal, and this was therapy for him, I wasn't alone. We were dealing with that together, and just seeing his pain and being more empathetic and compassionate, that just opened my heart to everyone in pain,
Mm.
everyone suffering, of just that human experience, but finding joy in the pain.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the
It's
part.
everything. That's everything.
That's the part when you're winning in life. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we can
And
do this.
does Skitty Cat still exist?
Skinny cat retired, got super old. The mascots lasted for 10 years, but the
Okay.
cost, Ari was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Trust me, we
Hmm.
want this mascot to last for a long time."
Right.
So now we have Mooney, who's an astronaut sloth. And then Looney, which is Mooney's sister, and she is an astronaut sloth. And then we have Boogie the bear, who's a bear and really cuddly. But Looney is actually played by a bar mitzvah student this last year wanted to get involved and wanted to be the mascot. So we were like, sure. So never
Is
been a
that like,
mascot before.
is that part of their bar mitzvah project? Is it like you have to do,
Yeah.
okay,
But the
amazing.
bar mitzvah's passed and they're still loony.
I
So
appreciate
still
that.
loving it. Still going strong. And Maya Bialik is actually dressed up as Looney because she was like, "What? A sloth? That's my spirit animal. Can I wear it?" I was like, yeah." So
Mm.
she's been the mascot before. And being a mascot, it's so much fun because honestly, like no one knows who you are, but they love you and
The
they want
thought
to
of
hold you.
the thought of Ari sort of using the mascot to heal himself underneath is incredibly powerful and actually makes so much sense. I'm like, wow, we should all just have like a mask we wear when we need to feel and don't want anyone else to see us, just so we can move through the feelings, you know?
I 100% agree. And it was such a healing tool for him. And he did it for
Mm.
years. And that's how he was able to process it. I think he was just trying to be so strong for me and didn't shed those tears. Well, he cries. Okay. He does shed tears. He knows how to, feel and show emotion. He cries it like inside out too. Like any movie, he'll cry. And it's so sweet. And I love that about him. But when it came to the miscarriage, he was just so strong for me
Hmm.
and wanted to be there for me and really focused on me. And so when he shared that with me, it just every time I looked at him with the kids and Skitty Cat, I was like, wow. So I'm not just a mother to all these kids, he's a father.
Mm.
And a lot of the children there do not have a father figure. And so Skitty Cat, fictional character, but so much fun. The kids just adore and love and any of our mascots. They adore the mascots and just hug and they don't let go. And that's not as normal because I've been a mascot at University of
Right.
Alabama,
They let go
in
there.
high school. They're just like,
Mm.
hey, high five, whatever, a hug, maybe. But this is like, I need this love.
Mm.
And it's so powerful. I it's just God, you can't explain it. You just don't let go and they don't let go. And it's a beautiful moment shared. So that healed my husband. And he's such a great father to our girls.
Mm.
And there are miracles, there are rainbow babies, and we'll forever be grateful for being able to have our own children, but to teach them too that we're helpers.
Mm. How can people help? Obviously, you'll always need donations. So we will link out to where people can donate, but can local people get involved? Can we show up at parties? What's the best way?
Please do. Please come. Uh and bring your kids, bring your family, bring your friends. We love having new volunteers and it's really easy to do. Just find us, message us, and we'll get back to you. You can be on our email list and join our volunteer list. We're in Westwood, we're in Sylmar, we're in downtown, and we're in Compton every month. So once
And
a month we have the
Houston.
parties.
Is
And
Houston once a
Houston,
month? Okay.
Houston's
I
also
do
once a month.
actually, I can already think of people I know that listen to this who live in
Okay.
Houston. So I just want to have the
Okay.
option there.
Okay, H-Town, let's
Hmm.
go. Yeah,
Hmm.
Houston too, which is, incredible place as we spoke. The incarcerated women in Houston, I forgot to mention, they don't have phones. So they line up at our photo booth. And I think that's the most important thing we have at that party because they have pictures of their pregnant bellies with their toddler or their newborn, and they finally have pictures. So I think what we do there is very special and would love for anyone to get involved in Houston and here in LA. And then even if you want to come and bake bread with us, we do that too. And we like to do that at least once a month. We go to the shelters, we go to the Peterson, but come be part of our family. Come help us and help these families that will become your own family and they'll become your brothers and your sisters and you can treat these children like they're your own.
I ask everybody at the end, and by the way, I'm committing on air. I am definitely coming to these, and I don't know in which way, but I also want to bring my kids. I think it would be so special for them. I ask people at the end, is there like a mantra or a phrase or a cliche or a piece of advice, maybe something your sister always said that resonates with you? And I will give you the option to pass it today if you want, because I feel like it could be we are the helpers, like we just are. But if you have another one that you want to share, I will take it as well. But I feel like teaching your children the lesson that you're the helpers, what could be more important?
No, it's yes, absolutely. We are the helpers. But I mean, I do have to say that at our parties, our mantra, and we repeat over and over, is super important, especially after loss or infertility, understanding that you are worthy of love. And I had to learn that myself
Mm,
when loss came and it shattered my heart. I had to pick up the pieces and understand my worth and how, yes, we are the helpers. You can help someone else to make them feel worthy as well. And so linking that together and just understanding you are worthy of love.
mm. I love that. Mandie, you're an incredibly special human. Thank you so much for being here.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.